YouTube, how are we doing? Welcome back to another vlog of The Standard. I want to start this episode just by saying a massive thank you to everybody who's been supporting my YouTube channel over the recent times. Got some great reception, so a lot of people have been giving me compliments and just saying keep it up, keep going, don't stop, and that means everything to me, so thank you so much. The reason for doing these is to hopefully teach, inspire, but documenting my own journey too. You know, when you look at creators such as Daniel Daly, Nick French, Nick Bear, you know, the list is endless. People have just been documenting their life. Luke Hopkins for a long period of time. How fucking cool would it be just to look back when you're 60 years old and just to think, wow, like watching these videos with your grandkids, your kids and things like that, it's really special. So yeah, thank you for the support. And I've just finished my tempo run and I will discuss a little bit more about it when we get back to Airbnb. Nearly forgot them. I have to be honest, that wasn't a fantastic run. I feel like fitness is definitely masking my fatigue at the moment in time. My lower back, my ankle, my legs, quads are just very, very tired and fatigued all the time, and it needs to be addressed. It's just a load management thing. I need to make some slight adjustments here or there because the running efficiency and pace and heart rate, you know, the run itself is okay, but you know when it just feels like shit, like you never feel like you get into your groove, you're just tired and aching throughout it all. So maybe a little bit of a deload is required. And you know what I mean, thinking about it, I've not really gone from the push pull run challenge, had any significant break, and now into this prep as well. So I just need to, you know, manage things appropriately. I'm not Superman at the end of the day, although you know this task does give me special powers. I still am a human and need to think about recovery. You know, it's something that I do with all my clients with push pull run, manage their fatigue and manage their recovery really well. And I'm sure a lot of coaches will be in the exact same position as what I'm in right now and say, like, do as I say, not as I do. So I need to take my own advice, you know, on board here. And my advice to a client who would be expressing these things to me would be, right, let's run a little deload. Let's get you out of a deficit if you're in a deficit. And you know, the way I run my training with push pull run, really it's very rare that we need to come into a properly focused deload, because the way that we do testing weeks, the way that we put new training blocks in place, it all kind of like sings and dances with itself. And oftentimes during testing week we'll have that as a little diet break if necessary and boost food up as well. So it all works and sinks in kind of well, but just think I'd take a little leaf out of my own playbook and sprinkle it on myself. But anyway, time for breakfast. Let's eat. And just like that, here we are, showered, coffee, food, ready to chow down. I've made myself a little promise. I got into a really bad habit, and I do recommend that if any of you kind of like spot a negative habit or a thought pattern or something like that, that you should try your very best to identify the habit or the problem, separate it, and then obviously change the environment or the situation or whatever it might be to move forward and erase the bad habit. And for me, eating and working at the same time almost feels like productive to do it, and it might be, right? Over the course of a day, if I eat whilst working, I might get more done. But what's like the downstream impact of that at the end of the day? Like, I might get 30 minutes more work done, but my digestion might be worse because I'm not focusing whilst I'm eating my food. My quality of life and my mental health might deteriorate because I'm not allowing myself just any downtime at all whilst, you know, as I go about my day. And when I am working, I'm super productive. Like, I just get my head down and crack on. So there's really no need for me to be working whilst I'm eating, and it is a really poor habit. So that's something that when I am eating now, laptop is not near me, in the other room or whatever, where it needs to be, and I'm just chilling, just eating, maybe scrolling on a bit of socials, which is absolutely fine. So let's dig in.
over July, I set myself a 30-day challenge, well, 31-day challenge, because there were 31 days in July, to just not miss anything. Now, I'm a little bit of an outlier, I must admit, because I don't miss anything anyway. I don't eat junk food, I never miss a training session, etc, etc. But I locked in, big time locked in. I'm really, really happy with progress. I'll put a picture up here of how I looked at the start of July. And obviously you've just seen my current photos. Decided I'm gonna lock in again for another 30 days and then see where we get to from there. But having some fun at the moment, training is going through the roof. My physique is looking the best that it's looked in a very long time. And I'm 3 weeks into the 505 challenge prep. Everything's going well. However, I have got a niggle in my ankle, which is turning into a little bit more than a niggle, I must admit. So I'm not extremely happy or impressed about that, but we'll see how it goes. It's the worst that it's been right now since I can remember, and it's not something that I've actually done. I think it's something from a rugby injury back when I was playing rugby like 5, 6, 8 years ago. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and manage it appropriately, or gonna have to take some measures that I don't really want to. But you know, that's why we do cross training, right? You know, the cross training is a thing, and it's essentially doing other methods of endurance to help support your main endurance progression. So my main endurance goal is running. So I could do swimming, bike as two really easy examples to still improve my endurance outside of actually stomping tarmac. And it's stomping tarmac which is causing my ankle to flare up. So I'm gonna have a think about the next steps, the logical next steps, and take it from there. But I appreciate it's very loud, didn't expect it to be this loud. So I'll catch you back home in the kitchen for some post-workout food. And if you are, if you're a regular around here, you'll probably know what it's gonna look like.
And just like that, we are back in the kitchen, ready for some lunch. Post-workout, some may call it, some may call it meal 3, some may call it dinner. I call it meal 3, not that it makes any difference. We're gonna have some, well, in fact, I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds to guess. Based on your previous knowledge of being on my channel, what would you guess it is? 3, 2, 1. It's potatoes, yes, you're right, chicken, beetroot, and some fruit. Let's crack on. When this shit comes to time efficiency, that has just taken 3 minutes. You do have the time to eat healthy, don't you? Now, time for some creatine. Must admit, at the minute, my sleep is, a bit up and down. And recent studies have shown that increasing your creatine dose upwards of 20 grams per day, or does have positive benefits with regards to sleep deprivation. And to be honest, I've been taking creatine in around the 15 to 20 grams mark for as long as I can remember, and I can definitely feel the difference when I take more creatine. I know I've got some genetic polymorphisms, which means I potentially need more creatine than the average person to help with my methylation and things like that. So that could be a potential reason why I definitely do feel better consuming more creatine. But I mean, it's relatively cheap. Try it for yourself. I would 100% recommend giving extra creatine a try if budget allows. So this is scoop number 2. Down the hatch. I split it up into 2 doses because in some people a heavy dose of creatine all in one go can cause a little bit of stomach distress. But I don't know if I've noticed that in myself, but you know, I'd rather not have some stomach distress if I can avoid it. Time for a shower. So not the most glamorous meal in the world, looks very beige, doesn't it? But I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'll say it 1,000 times. Just remove your emotional attachment to food and life will become a lot easier, to be honest. Especially if you're looking at like physique development and performance and stuff like that. 99% of high performing athletes will just talk about food as fuel. You know, and if you look at like successful bodybuilders and stuff like that as well, like they're exactly the same. You know, so when we're looking to become like more of a hybrid athlete, Nick Bare, Nathan French, Luke Hopkins, They're some of the people who spring to mind immediately because of their influence on social media. You know, they pretty much talk about the same things all the time. They say that they enjoy the food, but they do just eat the same things over and over and over and over. They look to fuel the performance, and because they are fueling performance and their diet is very, very simple, they look great too. Let's dig in. Bon appetit. I've just been putting this YouTube together and I realise there's like very little structure to it all just feels all over the shop, so believe me, I will get better at this, but I'm going to sign the video off here. Next video, there's going to be more structure. I'm going to do a full day in a life. Might be interesting to a few here, so you'll be able to come along for the ride. Before I do sign off, thank you very much once again for watching. This is another week done and dusted in the 505 challenge prep. Like, drop us a comment, drop us a subscribe, it means the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.